Oh, hello, everybody, to my channel. It has a very long name that I will refuse to change for nostalgic reasons. But to everyone who goes onto the channel, you don't need to call me Savage Instinct Lewis. Just Lewis will do, or Savage, or Instinct. Just call me one of the three names I have on the channel. It makes no difference to me, but I come today to explain my Android Vegito series and kind of where that popped up, why that happened, and before I get into it, I know there might be a couple of you that are confused as to where the uh, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot streams went, as they kind of just up and disappeared from my channel. Um, I played Dragon Ball Daima on day one, on the day of release, and unfortunately, the Daima DLC, as I played, I got hit with a copyright strike, and me being very fearful of, the copyright strikes, because this is my first time really doing YouTube professionally. Um, I deleted those videos, those live streams, for the sake of the safety and integrity of my channel. But yeah, to those of you wondering where those streams went, they are permanently gone. But to those who did join during those streams, I do thank you guys for being there. And to those who couldn't, I'm sorry to say, but you guys had to be there. It sucks, but it is what it is. It's how just YouTube is nowadays. But moving on from that little hiccup of a topic, my Android Vegito videos. What was my thought process? Kind of going through it. Uh, so let me spin you a tale. A while ago, I got into a YouTuber by the name of Call Me RJ. I think that's his name. With his Ultra Vegito videos, and I thought, oh hey, this is pretty cool. The combination of Ultra Ego and Ultra Instinct. This looks sick. Ultra Vegito looks sick. And the concept of an evil Vegito kind of like intrigued me. And I thought, this is a very cool concept. Shout out to the person who made Ultra Vegito, by the way. I doubt anyone will see my content. But to those that do, shout out to you guys. Dude, uh but yeah, I thought of there was this one video that he posted about Vegito was injured. It was very early in the Ultra Vegito saga. Um where Call Me RJ or Call Me Arj, I think. That specific YouTuber, he had Vegito on very near death go to the past using a time ring, talking to Dr. Jarrell and having him turn Vegito into an android. And I said, dude, that idea is so sick. Now, granted, I was a kid when I saw this. Well, not a kid. I was a teenager. Um, it was quite a while ago that I saw this video. So I kind of forgot about it, but I remember that little like plot point. I will admit it has been a few years since I've seen Call Me RJ or Call Me RJ. It's been a few years since I've seen this video, and I am so very behind on the Ultra Vegito stuff. It's just I don't even know where to begin whenever I look at the video at the channel now. So, but I decided, I kind of want to take my own spin on this, with the concept of an evil Vegito, from the inspiration of Call Me RJ or Call Me Arj, and also a little bit of the Dragon Ball multiverse manga or comic or whatever it is. The idea of Vegito being a bad guy. I know Multiverse doesn't necessarily have Vegito painted as a bad guy. Vegito is more of a jerk in the Multiverse thing. To which I don't mind all too much, you know. But I always thought of, cool, what if Vegito was a villain? How would I do that? How would I go about that? And so I thought of the idea. Well, Cell, you know, Imperfect Cell was made out of the cells of Goku, Vegeta, um, Frieza, King Cold, Piccolo, amongst the other Z Warriors. Minus Trunks, because I think at the time, I think Jerome maybe didn't care enough for Trunks, or maybe didn't have any Trunks DNA to put into Cell or something. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. But I thought of, cool. What if we just take everyone else and Dr. Jerome made a bio android of a Cell who just has the cells of Goku and Vegeta. And I thought that is so cool. But what about the androids? You know, Vegito doesn't necessarily need to absorb the androids to become perfect, considering that he is just the clone mixture of the DNA of Goku and Vegeta. There is no need for a perfect form. And I thought the androids being here might cause a bit of a writing issue or writing error. So I decided to just completely scrap the androids from the story itself, which is a shame because, you know, Krillin doesn't meet 18 or get married or none of that. It's very sad. I'm sorry, for my boy Krillin here. But I thought narratively it would just make the most sense, considering that Cell was just a side project before Jiro got into making the other androids, such as 19 and 16, you know? But I wanted to perfect this as much as I could, you know, at least as much as I could, it's just straight from the dome. Um, I thought, what if Vegito was just the main project? You know, maybe the potential was so high between a combination of these two individual cells. I thought, what if Jiro just spent all his time working on Vegito? That's why Vegito, over the course of the years, kind of just took the place of not just Cell, but androids 19, 17, and 18. Instead of the Android saga, it was just the Vegito saga, and I kind of decided to keep things that way. My main problem with this, though, was considering whether or not I wanted to keep Vegito in the story, since he kind of replaced Android 17 and 18. But since he also replaced Cell, I needed a way to end the story. And I decided ultimately to just have Vegito be defeated by Gohan, you know? And I also needed a way to have Vegito unlock Super Saiyan, since he is made up of the combination of cells from Saiyan Saga, Goku, and Vegeta. He doesn't have Super Saiyan. He doesn't know what a Super Saiyan is, but he is just that strong. I decided to make him more loyal to Jiro, since he is Jiro's greatest creation, and those two have a bit of a bond together, you know? It's a master-servant bond. So I decided, in order to make Vegito a Super Saiyan so he doesn't get stomped out by Vegeta and Trunks, I decided to make Vegito entirely loyal to Dr. Jiro. So whenever Jiro gets defeated at the city when first meeting Kamikolo or Piccolo, Trunks, and Tien Shinhan and Krillin, when Jiro gets defeated by the hands of them, Vegito snaps, and which in turn causes him to transform into Super Vegito. Now, I made him a lot stronger, but of course, he doesn't have his base cannon strength. Of course, he had to be nerfed in order to give Gohan the win in the same way that he defeated Cell, you know? And, yeah. Jeez, I had a major brain fog. I forgot what I was gonna say in mid-sentence. Sorry for that. But yeah. Um, with the way Vegito is, I thought it would be very cool and very interesting to just be like, oh, what if he was evil? Or what if he was just a clone? There is one more inspiration I took. I took inspiration of the Sonic RPG series that I played way back in the day, back when I was in elementary school. I liked the idea of Silkadoom being a fusion clone of Sonic and Shadow, and which often gave me the idea to have my Android Vegito saga be in the Android saga at all, period. You know? Um, what if Dr. Gero made a clone of Goku Vegeta in the same way that in that series that I got into when I was in elementary school a few years back? Dr. Eggman made a clone of Sonic and Shadow, and of course Silkadoom came into being. So I kind of just put that concept into making Android Vegito. You know, what if Joro made a clone of Goku Vegeta, merge them together to make Vegito? So yeah, um, I think that's all that I have really to cover. If anyone has any questions, I am more than willing to make a video responding to those comments. And my next video could be my what if, my first what if. I don't know what I want to do for that yet. I might think it over. Um, and try out this writing exercise of mine. Uh, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you didn't, that's okay too. I do this kind of thing for fun, not necessarily for approval. I hope you guys do enjoy this. Like if you like, dislike if you dislike, subscribe or unsubscribe at your whim or your will. You know, that's of course your guys' choice. That's your free will. I'm not gonna knock you for doing anything. I personally don't mind it all too much, as I do this for fun rather than for subscribers necessarily. You know, I do love you guys, all of you guys, with the bottom of my heart. But I once again reiterate, I kind of just do this for fun as a little side hobby. So if I don't upload a lot within a certain amount of time, just randomly out of nowhere, don't think of it as me retiring. I'll come back eventually. Might just need to pull a Corey Ketchum for a few months or years or whatever. Or whatever, I just upload whatever I feel like uploading. But with that being said, uh, but yeah, I think that's everything I want to talk about with the Android Vegito saga. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I will answer them to the best of my ability if I can't answer them at all. Yeah. Bye, guys. I'll see you guys in maybe like 40 to 50 minutes, depending on how long it takes this video to upload to the channel with it raining outside today. Later.